Hello again, everyone. Hope all is well. It's the last week in April. It seems like only a week ago we were shoveling snow and wearing our winter coats. Oh, wait a minute, we were. Well, don't worry. Warmer weather is around the corner, and for what it's worth, other than some of my frost-sensitive flowering trees, everything is still in full bloom thanks to the recent cool weather. The NAR legislative meetings start next week. For those who have never attended, I want to give you a quick look at what might be topics of interest. Excuse me. Business Issues Committee meets May 6th from 12:30 to 1:30. For those who want to know what's around the corner, this committee works on coming concerns that impact real estate or our members. You want to know what's likely to eventually end up on your plate? This is the committee to attend. The Fair Housing Policy Committee is May 7th from 3:30 to 5 and is in its second year. Here they review any number of different topics. I actually sit on this committee, and in the last 16 months, we have worked on appraisals, visited with the authors of The Color of Money and The Color of Law, discussed implicit bias and recent changes to the Code of Ethics. NAR research is on Monday the 10th from 12:30 to 1:30. This is another committee that provides helpful insight into the future. For example, in 2009, the impact of student debt on first-time home buyers, something we're discussing now, was being discussed then, giving us a clear indication of the issues it was going to create. For those who are property managers, appraisers, commercial practitioners, and for those who have a head for financial policy, there are plenty of meetings for you to attend as well. To find out more and to register for free, go to nar.realtor. Speaking of NAR research, I want to discuss the topic of a housing bubble, which seems to be one of the most often Googled terms on the internet. This means that if you're not one of those, quote, searchers, odds are your clients and potential clients and customers are. Apparently, the run-up in prices is driving this search, with many comparing what is happening now to what led to the Great Recession. Fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, this is something with which I am familiar and want to use several pieces of data from that era to help you understand why we are not in a bubble. Reviewing data at that time from around the country, it was easy to see the coming storm, as exuberant optimism in pricing was only outpaced by an explosion of new homes combined with existing inventory, creating what would become a catastrophic combination. In 22 months, the absorption rate went from roughly 50%, or the equivalent of a 2-month supply, to under 10%, or a 10-month supply. And by January of 2009, that absorption rate was under 5%, or the equivalent of more than a 20-month supply of homes to sell. So could it happen again? Sure. But I suspect I will not live long enough to see it, because high buyer demand from millennials, decreased workers to build new homes, little developable land because of water, sewers, electricity, roads, etc. Estimates are it will take at least a decade to be building homes fast enough to keep up with the then current demand, let alone satisfy pent-up demand from the previous decade. By the way, if knowing what to look for in real estate data versus listening to talking heads who want to scare you into buying their book or newsletter is of any value to you, I can't think of a better reason to tune into the upcoming NAR meetings. Finally, for those of you who have been wondering about this information behind me, let me close with this. Market differentiation is the key to your success. In other words, why should a potential client select you to help them with their real estate needs? Like many in the industry, you can find a long list of letters after my name if I chose to put them there. However, long before becoming your AE, they all disappeared because they were simply titles which, if someone asked what they were, would take far too long to explain why they were of any value to the prospect. Now, don't get me wrong, the education from those courses was instrumental to my success, but they simply said I was educated and perhaps experienced. However, an endorsement is like a letter of recommendation. It says someone other than you approves of how you do or what you know about your business. This is why C2EX is different than all the other education you can get from NAR. It doesn't say you are educated, it says you are endorsed, and it is free. By the way, brokerage companies can become C2EX endorsed as well. So to help differentiate yourself, look into C2EX. With that, let's wrap up for the day. As always, be productive, successful, and profitable, and please be safe. Bye.